Hello, everybody. I want to welcome you here to the Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Sorry, got some stuff on my lenses here that I didn't notice until I started looking at the camera. I don't know what this is. Anyways, clear now. So anyways, we're here tonight to do an episode of End of the Month Prog Roundup. This is a show that I started last month, was the first issue of it, I guess, or episode of it if you prefer. In which I've picked 5 prog albums that came out in the month, the preceding month. So this month is September, so 5 albums that came out this month that I think are worth investigating or that you might be interested in knowing about. And because I'm a prog channel, I thought this would be stuff that I'd like to talk about. So I picked out 5 bands and 5 albums released for the month of September. So the first one I've already done a video on. You, if you want, you can go back and watch the episode of What's New from last week. And the episode was, or from Thursday actually. This was People Food. And the album was The Organ Tree. This is a kind of a psychedelic instrumental band. Lots of heavy kind of chaotic guitar and a almost metal sound to their music at times. The cover's very Osric Tentacles looking. Very similar style of music too. I think these guys are a little more chaotic, a little bit more metal sounding than Osric Tentacles though. So that's the first band. The Organic Tree. Pretty good. Came out September the 3rd. If you want to see a full review of it or you want to see me talk more about it, you can go and look at the episode of What's New. Next up is, I think this is pronounced Syrinx. They are a Canadian band releasing this album on September the 9th. Time Out of Place is the name of the album. Really good album cover. Very spacey-like, almost kind of godlike in some ways. That's the way I feel about it when I look at it. Lots of heavy progressive influence here. The vocals are in a high end, but not particularly clear sounding. They're kind of backwards in the mix, not totally forward in the mix at all. The music is very spacey, proggy if you like. Got a bit of a metal like. They get a little bit metal at times. There's lots of stuff here to enjoy if you like that kind of prog metal sound. These are not full-on prog metal for sure. Probably more on the prog side than on the metal side, just with bits of metal here and there. So that's Syrinx, which is the album Time Out of Place, coming out September the 9th, a Canadian band, by the way. Next up is Roland Buhlman. The album is H59 Schallbilder. I believe that's how it's called. They are a Swiss band, or he is a Swiss artist, releasing the album on September the 7th. The cover is very it's a psychedelic mess. I don't know how to describe it any more than that. Instrumental. I would say it's an instrumental prog rock band. Multitude of complex musical sounds throughout. Very short pieces, most of them under a minute, but there's 59 pieces on a 54-minute album. So you can do the math yourself. Just little bits of musical sounds, short bits, like most of them are between 10 seconds as far as a minute in length. It's got a clear sounding production to it with, like I said, a multitude of complex musical instrumentation. Sorry. Interesting album, though. Next up is Crypto Night, and the album is Shifting Sands. This is an EP, so extended play. I think there's only 4 tracks on this. It's a kind of a UK-USA combo here. Released September the 5th. The album is has a very science fiction like cover to it. You've got this horse in the forefront that's kind of lying down, a wolf breathing fire in the top corner, and then kind of a medieval type cityscape in the background beside the wolf's head. So yeah, very kind of science fiction or fantasy might even be a better description, a fantasy cover. It's got some haunting sounds, some epic symphonic sounds throughout it. I would call it a symphonic landscape. There's lots of symphonic stuff going on, and then they feed music in front of it. That's what it sounds like to me. The vocals are very forward, kind of in the mid-range industrial sound. Nothing really indistinguishable here. The album is strongly prog-like, haunting with symphonic sounds throughout it. Yeah, I didn't mind it. This is an album I probably would consider getting if they get it in the record store. If not, I may go online, but it'll depend on when this strike is over. The last band on the list is called Aerostation. The album is called Rethink. It's an Italian band. Came out September the 19th, so about a week ago, possibly. The album cover is a male head with a multitude of colorful flower-like outgrowths out of the head. I call them flower-like because I looked at them closely. They're not really flowers. They almost look like alien landscape flowers coming out of your head. Nothing looks familiar to me as a horticulturalist anyways. Next up, their music is very symphonic driven. The vocals are low-key, clear English, but not fully out front, probably a medium range, not too far back, not too far out. Lots of instrumentation here. Symphonic instrumentation driven, almost prog-like, of course, and lots of interesting soundscapes throughout this music. So those are the 5 albums that I listened to for this episode. Kind of had them in the background, just listening to them and making notes as it was going along. So the 5 bands: People Food, Syrinx, Roland, Buhlman, Crypto Night, and Aerostation were the 4. Aerostation is likely, I circled it, so it's likely going to be the one that I do for what's new next week. I may do Syrinx as well at some point as well. These 2 are the most appealing to me of the album, so I'll probably do both of them at some point. Anyways, that's it for the end of the month prog roundup. These are the 5 albums that kind of interested me that I thought you also might be interested in. Give them a check out. You can find almost all of them on Bandcamp. One of them, I believe, the Roland Buhlman, I think I found that on YouTube. I think that's where I found it. But anyways, give them a check, and we will see you end of next month for another end of the month prog roundup. So take care, have yourself a good evening, and goodbye.